Okay. So yeah, go ahead. Give your start.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is episode 3 of your 2 favorite coons. Should I name the podcast that? No, I'm kidding. But, all right, guys, happy 420. All right. Man, fuck, it should have been 6 million, man. It was only 271,000. Fuck,
It
man.
was,
We were
yeah.
so
It
close.
was.
It reminds me of that Family Guy meme, like the Vietnam one. Scoreboard, look at what happened to your friends. And it's like, oh, God damn it. But
The one I was looking at earlier, I think before we got on, it was Peter Quagmire, and they were in the car, they were driving and shit. And it's
yeah.
like, okay, you can either be Hitler 2 years before the war, or you could be a homeless person with a 2% chance of being picked up by a rich person. And then Quagmire's just trying to make Hitler work, and then it was like, why are you trying to make Hitler work? I thought that shit was funny.
Oh
Am I?
man,
Can I alter the mustache? Can I change some policies and make me more favorable before the end of the war? Like that shit was funny.
it
I
was so
actually like
good.
that little
It's,
scene they did, the little cutaway.
it's like out of pocket, like guy conversations. Family Guy is so real, but it's like out of world. That like makes any sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it
Like
was real
literally, when I see Peter
for a
Griffin,
minute.
yeah,
It was real back in the
literally,
day.
yeah,
Now
yeah,
it's fucking gay. You can't. They're not making good jokes anymore. I mean, Family Guy is going to run as long as they have the Simpsons at this point. It's the same thing. They're going to run that shit until the ground. As this
yeah.
increasingly as the years go on, just unfunny.
It's just getting
It's no
shittier.
longer like random stories. It's like it's boring now. It's very. It doesn't really have the same energy or thrill that it did 20 years ago. Well, not 20 years ago, but 10, 15 years ago. I thought Family Guy past 2011 was just ass. I mean, it's just terrible. It's no different than South Park. South Park's been running since what, 98,
Yeah,
97. And that shit's boring. I mean, it's fucking boring as shit. So all these shows that we grew up watching in this media is no longer, it doesn't have this unique identity. Look at Call of Duty, for example. I'm sure you and I grew up playing Call of Duty. It went from this modern warfare take or take on World War II or whatnot, or a take on the 1960s, the Cold War, to now fucking Nicki Minaj is rolling around and Willy Wonka sliding across the floor, shooting chocolate up your asshole while you capture D flag, the B point on
it's just
domination.
stupid.
And then
Yeah,
the campaign is goofy shit. You're hallucinating the whole time. I mean, it's like, what the fuck is this? Then you look at the Battlefield games, it's the same way. It's like, oh, well, this is Battlefield, but it's just as gay and watered down and just retarded as anything else. So you don't really have anything today that is, when your country and your civilization is losing, when the art is terrible, that is a reflection of how terrible the society is.
oh,
When your
absolutely.
art is so poor and degenerate, then it really shows how far and how low people have gone. And you see that the blacks, that's something that can be said. The music of black people, even with hip hop, is no longer what it was in the early 2000s or 90s. And now it's just fucking retarded. You examine that. That's like a clear picture of a decline. You look at black music from like, I hate people that want to go back to, like, I want to go back to the 60s and 70s, and I don't fucking care about that. Like James Brown and Curtis Mayfield, that's not my era. I don't really give a fuck about that music. Like, it's
Early
nice music.
2000 was
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's like the 90s and 2000s is the closest thing to me that I have of reference. Not something from the fucking 70s. I don't give a fuck about any of that. The only people who can adhere to that is the Gen Xers and the Boomers.
the old heads.
For
Yeah.
Gen Z and Millennials, if for Gen Z and Millennials, it's the 90s and 2000s that we can adhere to, and we can look at culturally. And you see the decline culturally, the decline in identity, the decline in uniqueness. And it's sad, dude. Like, I was listening to music earlier. Like, what the fuck? We don't make this shit anymore? Like, this is
Yeah.
terrible. And it's so limited. So you're always craving something like this. And then, every now and again, you'll get somebody who comes out, they'll put out an album or they'll do something. And it's just so fucking dog shit. Like, everyone today is making music to where, this is crazy. 20, 30 years ago, if you made a one hit wonder, that was a good thing. It was like a one hit wonder. Oh, great, fine. And you walked away from it. Now every artist makes a one hit wonder. Every album they put out is a one hit wonder. It's just a one hit. It's like this album comes out and it's only one song that's good out of 12 fucking songs they put out. And they're only known for, like, 5 songs, where you have other artists who've known for 10, 20 songs, and they have they could put out a greatest hits. I mean, how many people are putting out greatest hits today? How many people who started in the early 2000s? Excuse me, who started in the early 2010s are putting out like greatest hits? They don't fucking have any greatest hits. They got
It's all the
5
same
songs.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same shit. It's
It
nothing
reminds
good, and that's across every genre.
It reminds me of, and I want to piggyback off of that. It reminds me of when the summer of 2016, I think the Angry Birds movie came out, and the amount of times I saw in trailers where they're like, "This is the #1 acclaimed movie. This is the best movie in the world." But I'm like, everybody says that, like that's just the biggest like advertising catch a consumer's eye bullshit reference. Like nothing is #1 anymore. Nothing has heart or proper plot or love or passion being written into it. You just see a fucking Optimus Prime or one of the Autobots. I'm non-binary. I don't want robots to be faggots. I want you to kill Megatron. I want you to fight him to the death. I want Autobots and Decepticons fighting against each other. Maybe unite once in a while when they have to fight like Unicron or some shit. But like, because when I look at American Dad, I think this is another good example of how you've even said to yourself, these cartoons are dry. There's nothing funny about them, right? When you look at American Dad, you laugh. When you look at South Park, when you look at like Simpsons, like early 90s, it was original. You know what I mean? Shows these days are too modern. And when you look at the Boondocks, I thought about it. I'm like, man, they didn't bring the Boondocks back. But I'm like, the Boondocks was good for its era. Imagine bringing Boondocks into 2022 or 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026. It wouldn't hit the same, right? And that's what I like about the Boondocks. It showed issues in the Black community from like an educational standpoint. Like, because I was talking to a Black gentleman at the store I work at, and he's an EMT. I'm like, politicians are just so full of shit. Taxes always increases. It doesn't matter how many times they'll say, oh, we'll decrease taxes. It reminds me of when I think it was Granddad. He was all like, man, Obama, he going to decrease my taxes. And the guy interviewing him said, actually, he's going to increase taxes. What the fuck that nigga going to do for me? You know what I mean? So I kind of laughed. You know what I mean? Like it showed like, I guess the tomfoolery and the stupidity in the Black community where it was like, hey, this nigga, he one of us, so he's going to help us. No, just because he's a fellow Negro and has the same skin color as you or is somewhat similar to you doesn't mean he has the best intention. And like the Boondocks, as fucking hilarious as it was actually really philosophical in certain episodes. When you look at Huey's character, and you really saw like how intelligent he was compared to everyone else. And he was kind of like an outcast, and Huey, I'm not saying you are like Huey Freeman, but like you have this like aura to you where you are like an outcast in your own community because you speak the truth and you say things no one wants to hear. And people see, or at least Granddad and Riley at times saw Huey as a Debbie Downer. He was just so intelligent and so wise beyond his years.
And the new nigga, that's what it is. The old nigga and the new nigga. That's all it is. And as you notice through the show, they've always in conflict. And that really paints a picture of how things are. You have the older class of Black people. Mainly we're talking Black Gen Xers, but in the case of the show, its time period would be Black Boomers. But Black Gen Xers is something that Black Gen Z has to deal with. We're just Gen Zers and really in its totality, we have to deal with this, big problem with this, our parent generation. But yes, you got the young, hip, new nigga that's coming out of the world and wants to, be all ghetto and gangster and be a nigga. And you still have the old nigga mentality that, it's kind of, they're saying what's right, they're authority figure, but they still have this very niggerish behavior that is, you can't really see, but you can see it. It's there, but it's not there. And at times it comes on and it comes off. And you see that with Granddad compared to Riley, whereas Huey is the the middle ground, is the person that is seeing beyond it, regardless of his politics of the show, how they define it. But still, with that, even some of the Black communists I talk to, some of the Black Marxists I talk to, they're aware of the nigga problem, but their understanding of it has shifted from just being whitey to more of, well, they're conscious of the Jews. And I get very excited when I see Black communists who are conscious of the Jewish problem and the Jewish question. And they have an understanding of, we have to do something about it. We have to speak up on it. And not out of it, just this position of hatred for the Jews. I think this is something that we get a little bit, all the memes and all, popping Romans and shit is funny.
To actually have hatred winning. Yeah, when we do that.
It hurts. It hurts because I was saying this earlier. to someone in my family. 10 years ago, you couldn't talk this way. You couldn't sit back in JQ. You couldn't post this stuff. I mean, today you can post memes and make jokes, and people can go out in public
24/7.
and criticize Israel
Yeah.
24 fucking 7, nonstop. And you're getting hundreds of thousands of likes, millions of views on it. 10 years ago, you couldn't fucking do that. 5 years ago, you couldn't fucking do that. You wouldn't even dream. If you would have told me if I was 19 years old, as I moved out of my parents' home, 19 years old, and still reading, Origins and Doctrines of Fascism, or, looking at the Jewish question, listening to Jared Taylor and all these other people when it came to Jewish power. I was a big David Irving fan growing up. As we know, David Irving's work is, it's good, but it's not always there. There's a lot of inconsistencies in some of his writing, but still very good figure. The Ernest Zundels, all these people. If you would have told me while I'm sitting there listening to these podcasts or listening to this work and reading that in 2026 you'll be able to JQ in public, I would see you're fucking insane. Like, what do we do? Did we nuke Tel Aviv? Like, what happened? They get fucking nuked. Like,
Are they
what
no
happened?
longer our greatest ally? Yeah.
Yeah, like no fucking way that you would be able to do that, but you can. And the thing is that we have to be cautious with that, because it's great that more people are aware. But the problem is that so many people are aware in the wrong way and are aware for the wrong reasons.
They want clicks and views and likes.
It goes back to nobody is conscious of the Jewish question and the Jewish problem because they hate Jews. It's more of, we want to hold these people accountable for their actions and their behaviors that has been detrimental to everyone. That they're the only people that have not and aren't criticized and cannot be criticized. You can talk shit about niggas all day. That's how I got my platform. I talk shit about niggas, and I talk shit about weak whites.
You won't be dogs.
Yeah, the moment I start talking about the moment I started talking about Jews, that's how I lost my last account. We had 300K on Instagram. This is a second account with 300K. We lose that. Not because I talked about niggas all day. I had at least 400 posts. I posted every day, sometimes twice a day. And niggas this, niggas that, niggas shit. But the moment I start criticizing the black people who were pro-Israel, that's when I started losing my channel. And it's something that you have to be. And even, I do a lot of exploring here on YouTube, because I've been on YouTube and we're just on the internet and trying to study how to make content go viral and how to get content off the ground for years. So if you talk about Jews on platforms like Facebook and YouTube, you're going to get shut down. I remember those are the first platforms to shut people down. I mean, YouTube, when it first started, in the early days of the alt-right, YouTube was the hub for everyone that was on here. Richard Spencer was on here. You had so many different people who were a part of the alt-right, the dissident right, that posted on YouTube. And look what happened. Now, a lot of these people are gone. They can't stay on here. And the people who were doing content then at that time don't even have a presence on this platform. You've seen a lot of new faces. And I could be said I'm one of them as well on YouTube, because I really didn't have a following or anything, but being around it and watching this rise and the shift politically, that, you can come out today and start talking about it, but you have to walk a tightrope. You have to really walk a nice fine line in your wording and your message and, the aesthetic of the video, the structure of the video. It has to be structured properly for you to talk about these things. And it shows we've come a long way. But at the end of the day, like I said, the main goal for a lot of people, because I really hate the cartoonish nature of around a lot of people when they talk about this shit. You gotta, it's about trying to hold people accountable at the end of the day. It's not about like we want to get rid of all these people and we want to put them in camps and shit. Like, we joke and make the memes, but I want to hold these people accountable because no one wants that at the end of the day. Because if it's going to be done to them, they could be done to us. They can be done to anyone else. I don't fucking want that. I want something to where we can have like, hey, listen, you got to come to your point of accountability. We're doing that with niggas right now. We've done it with whites. Jews, it's your turn as well. All right, that's
And I think I tell people all the time, they want you to hate Jews. They want you to do something to a synagogue. They want you to hurt a Jewish person. Why? Because then they can pass an anti-Sem protection against anti-Semitism law. You know what I mean? Yeah. So more stupid we act, the more violent someone acts. And obviously there are going to be your typical like crisis actors that create racial tension and division. This always happens, right? Even in 2008 when we saw the stock market crash, we saw Americans coming together, but they're like, nope, let's make people hate each other. They're so good at keeping us divided, and we're so stupid and we fall for it every fucking time. And it's like, guys, it's the same shit. It reminded me when you were debating simple black theory, because he's very passionate, but he could say a lot of stupid shit. And I'm like, dude, it's bigger than Republican and Democrat. A lot of black people still don't see it. And I understand why,
sure.
like I was talking with my friends who are left-leaning and right-leaning. I said, yeah, because I understand why Trump won. When you look at Kamala and the shit that was coming out of her mouth, don't get me wrong, politicians lie all the time, right or left. However, Kamala was also sucking Israel's dick. Same with Trump, right? You know, they were saying Israel's our greatest ally. We love Israel. Okay, so let's say you're a Muslim, or if you're pro-Palestine, right? Because for the most part, Muslims are pro-Palestine. Now, with Muslims, they kind of have like a tribalistic way of voting. Same with black people. Hey, they're a Muslim like me. I'm like, I look at Mamdani, I'm like, this guy's a faggot. This guy is not a Muslim. What Muslim is in a pride parade and has a gay flag or a tranny flag in one hand? No, it's about getting votes. New York is pretty liberal. You do what you need to do. Diversity, whoop-de-doo, that's what gets you the votes. You know what I mean? You got to appeal to different audiences and different people. Now with Kamala, she focused more on the Hispanics. Now, joke's on her. Hispanics, well, she also focused on black people as well. Hispanics don't fucking like each other. These people would deport their own brother. I mean, when you look at MAGA, you know, the amount of Mexicans that don't like their Guatemalan neighbors, or even Mexicans don't like other Mexicans. It's about playing the game and understanding the game. Trump's an idiot. Trump knows what he's doing. Trump knows how to piss people off. Trump knows how to be in the headlines, in the news story, in the covers. Trump is really good at being an asshole. That's why he, you know what I mean? He gets his attention. He knows what he's doing. In the end of the day, he could be old, shitting his pants or shitting the couch, or have a bag or a pouch in his jacket. The guy, despite how old he is, he's been in the game. He understands how it works. And I'm telling people, look, when I looked at Kamala's policies, I think Trump is, you know, obviously with billions of dollars going to Israel, tax money is being wasted on a country that is literally draining us. You know what I mean? And once they don't need us anymore, they'll throw us out. We will be like a hooker on the street. But with Kamala, I'm like, guys, the reason why she lost, she blatantly lied. She lied way more than Trump. For example, when she said our military, no one in our military is shipped overseas. And you saw that video where people in the military were like, what the fuck is she talking about? And where the fuck are we? You know what I mean? Or for example, I think it was in 2019, she said this. I'm not sure if she changed her views, but inmates getting like sex transitions or some bullshit or gender affirming care, that's fucking retarded. I don't care. You don't deserve gender affirming care or any type of care. If you killed someone or raped someone, I don't give a fuck about you. You could be behind a brick wall the rest of your fucking life and separated from society. You deserve what you get. You're there for a reason. Now, people need to understand, I call out the stupidity from both sides, because you can't be a far right guy and a Republican. It's different shit, you know, and it pisses me off when liberals are like, hey, these far right MAGA. I'm like, dude, Hitler would see Trump as a race traitor. You know, he's crawling in his grave right now. He's like, Nein, the Jew lover, you know, like he's looking at Trump, and the far right are Hitler supporters, preserving the white race, and actual traditionalists. MAGA are literally retards. These guys claim to be America first and claim to love Trump. Trump in 2016 disagreed with what we've done with Libya and with what we've done in the Middle East. Now, meanwhile, you're getting involved in a foreign conflict that won't help America at all or help the interests of the people. There are people that are veterans and homeless. There are people that are suicidal. There are people that can't even afford fucking groceries. Dude, like in the store that I work at, people go from credit cards to food stamps. It's getting bad. You know what I mean? Like every single day I see people that can't afford or have a living. I mean, granted, I think SNAP is destroying the black family. And if you can afford drugs, I don't think you're struggling as bad as you think you are. And I'd also argue that black people aren't struggling as much as they think they are. I think it's more of a mental slavery that a lot of blacks have among themselves. The white man, look, black people have put the trust in the wrong black leaders too. Just because they're black and look like you doesn't mean they have the best interest for you. But I mean, there's a lot of issues in the black
It goes back to the modern house Negro that I talked about. I mean,
yeah.
The modern house Negro will sit back and tell you like everything's good and we're actually doing good as a people, but you know, it's all these things outside of it that's bad.
Yeah,
so the
absolutely.
modern keeping you inside the plantation. And I really hate to use these like slave terms, but niggas only focus on these things. So you have to really speak the language of niggas and
They know.
you know, get them to understand where you're coming from. But it's like the most primitive fucking talk that you can do. House nigga, plantation, massa, all that shit. I just can't stand that shit. When I hear niggas talking about massa, you massa, like you nigga in the BDSM or some shit, like to get whipped or some shit, nigga. Like I don't want to hear this shit. You know, I don't want to sit back and have these conversations, but you have to speak the language of these niggas. And that's what these people at the top do as well. And that's the biggest thing that we have is that they'll do everything they can to speak the language of those at the bottom, to blend in and to make them feel comfortable in order to get their vote, to get their support, to get their financial support, all of that. And it's detrimental to the entire country. So that's the biggest problem with Black people, is that we're not realizing that we're killing ourselves, and we're allowing other people at the top to lead us down a path of our own destruction. And we think it's whitey. There's no hunkies coming in my community shooting up places. There's no hunkies coming into the school and having Black kids, giving Black kids guns and having them shoot each other. There's no hunkies
buildings over criminals. You know what I mean? So
yeah. The only thing I have to worry about is, some hunky judge, some white liberal judge, letting some fucking violent criminal out on the street because she wants to feel good about herself. That's the only thing I have to worry about. And we should be, if we're going to talk about white people, talk about that these liberal white bitches and these weak whites will sit back and let these people go free because they want to feel good about themselves, because they don't want to be seen as racist. Who gives a fuck? I don't give a fuck. Being racist today is not wanting people of such a poor quality and character in your society, people who are incompatible with your society, civilized society. That's being racist today. It's not, I hate these people because they exist. People who do are just fucking retarded. The people of today, people like myself who are racialists, who are race realists, we just don't want people who are incompatible for our civilized society to be here. Simple as that. And since we're going to have this, there's a lot of people I've seen, because like I said, I've been on this side of politics forever, the conversation about, well, America's a white country and it should only be white people here. It's like, you're never going to get that. Keep dreaming, white boy. You're never going to get America.
All white. The majority of this country, they're so cucked. I mean, they're the only group of people that listen to women. So.
Yeah, it's like this whole fantasy of going back to 1890 when the country's majority white. I mean, it's going to be a majority white country, and it should be a majority white country. But this idea that you're going to get 90%, you're just never going to get that. So, what should be the goal? Okay, blacks. You're going to get blacks and whites who are here, and maybe a little small Hispanic population, and that's how you're going to deal with it. So, with that being said, is that really blacks and whites have to fix their own selves, fix their culture, fix their identity, fix the direction they're going into. Because if we don't, then we're both going to die. I tell niggas this all the time. You think that the Hispanics are going to come over here and drink Hennessy with you niggas? No, they want to drink Corona and eat burritos. They don't want to eat no fucking soul food with you niggas. They don't like you no more than they like the white man. The thing is, they can go talk to him and swindle him, and they'll sit back and kill you. And work with the white men to kill your nigga ass. And that's what they'll do. And they do, and we see that with the elections. We see that with immigration. We see that every time these Chipanos will come into the black community and replace a nigga. And the nigga wonders why he can't get a job. Well, it's because you niggas have done nothing. I saw a nigga today, I was on Facebook, and I fucking hate Facebook because Facebook is filled with boomers, but I do have a decent following on Facebook. And it was a black dude in Detroit. And there were some talks and some articles and things put out about, one of the famous island that we have here, Belle Isle, downtown Detroit. Everyone goes here. It's a beautiful place. But about privatizing the island and, putting up some businesses and whatnot, which I think is retarded anyway. But dudes, like, gentrification is bad, and we don't want colonizers on our island. It's like, nigga, you don't even do anything on the island, but go there and get fucked up and smoke weed. And you want to sit back and talk about gentrification. I'm like, gentrification is good, because you niggas don't do anything with the shit. Now, if you were doing something with the property, if you were doing something in the city, then yes, then it's something to, it's one thing to try to defend your own interests, but you do everything to destroy anything in your proximity and then get mad when someone wants to come in and say, fuck you niggas, I'm going to take it over and do something right with it. That's your fault. You don't like the fact that people are coming in and they want to do something and build something. Either build something yourself or get the fuck out the way. It's simple as that.
Absolutely. And I think it is a huge problem because I don't like the inferiority complex. Like when I looked at Rhodesia and I looked at South Africa, as soon as whites left, it was fucked. It just completely fell apart. You see a massive increase of STD rates. You see a bunch of people that are uneducated for no reason. And I remember when I was watching I think it was a podcast with Jesse Lee Peterson and the Hodge twins. I looked at that. And when you look at, I've always said this, I say a lot of racist things, but my favorite types of blacks are black women in their 90s. Hey, sugar. Hey, dear. How are you? They dress proper. They look great when they go to church, when they go to work. They're like a grandma, essentially. You know what I mean? Like they just, everyone's happy to be there. They're always praying for you, always checking to see how you are. And like to see like the drastic change in the black community and, from pulling up your bootstraps to, I don't got bootstraps to pull up. It really breaks my heart, like to see that shit. and especially like how detrimental it is to have a masculine figure in the house. Because I'm going to be honest, even you and I have dabbled upon this many times. As someone who's mixed race, I've even talked with people. I don't like it when people shit on their own race, whether they're black, white, whatever. If you have negative experiences with your own people, I can understand why people race mix. But I even ask people more. Like, I remember when you said, bitch, how's your relationship with your father? I'll ask a woman, I'm like, what do you think of your own men? It's kind of like, Turkish people. I've said this in the past. They hate each other. They will sleep with every type of person but a Turkish person. I mean, they're Greek Muslims anyways, but like literally every time I talk to a Turkish person, I talk to a Turkish woman. I'm like, what do you think of Turkish men? No. Why? Are they aggressive? Do they fuck? Like, do they only care about fucking? Do they party a lot? Do they cheat? And then like every word that comes out of my mouth, the Turkish woman is like, you know my people better than I do. I'm like, yeah, I'm surrounded by you guys all the time. All they do is say how much they hate each other, or that they'll never marry a Turkish man, or they'll never marry a Turkish woman. Oh my God, this is like the black community. Because essentially they have nothing good to say about each other, then get upset when people say, hey, I have a problem with this demographic of people. I'm like, guys, you don't even like each other. And when someone calls you a nigger, I'm like, guys, you use the N-word towards each other. You know what I mean? You have nothing good to say about each other. And then there'll be massive hypocrites. Like, my thing is, if someone uses the word nigger, I don't care. I'm not going to chimp out and act like one and give people a reason to hate me. Because again, a word is not an excuse to act like an animal or to threaten to kill someone or feel a certain way about someone. It's like you give people a reason to hate you and wonder why they hate you. Like, I saw a video by the Fleckas on Instagram of a black woman that was in a white man's Uber. Mind you, he didn't even start the car up yet. So her and her friend get in. He didn't start the car yet. The door is still open. Wait for my friend. Don't start the car. And immediately, like, he didn't start the car. The friend gets in. She said, don't be racist. Just drive me to where I need to be. And he's confused because he's like, he didn't even fucking say anything. And then he's like, what did you say? And then the woman shocked because she realized she fucked up and said something stupid. So she said, oh, just drive me. And then he said, no, what did you say before that? And then her faggot, best friend was like, oh, she said to drive her to her destination. And they're lying. They're hiding what she said originally. So he said, get out of my car. And then he was pissed off because it's like, you can't complain about racism, yet their whole conversation revolves around race. It's all they talk about, all they know. Rather than voting or caring about your country or understanding politics, you know who fucked who, you know who won the game last night, but you're not focused on your community and the real problems. It's not whitey, as you've said many times in the past. The biggest weapon to or harm or the biggest cause of destruction to a black person is another black person. Sheer ignorance. Like, I remember I was dating a white chick, and then this one black, this is before, I got suspended from school, and this is my old job I had. She literally said, you hate black women, and started the conversation like that. Like, that's literally how she started the conversation. I'm like, how do I hate black women? You've never dated a black girl. I'm like, what? You know what I mean? Like, it's the stupidest way to start a conversation. And I'm like, why? Because I date white women? That means I hate black people? Does that mean I hate every other race? And she would literally be like, oh, I don't know. It seems like you don't like black people. I'm like, I've had negative experiences with them and I have a certain type. Like, a black girl can say, I'll never date a white boy. But if I say I never date a black woman, then I'm racist. I'm self-hating. I should kill myself and jump off a bridge. I'll have people in my DMs threaten me. And I'm like, I don't understand. You can't claim to be this compassionate group when a lot of the times, especially from black women, I've received hate, threats, being told I should kill myself, being told that I would be better off dead or never existed, being called self-hating, being called white trash. These are the same people that say, I'm not black. Okay, so I'm white, trash, I'm black, I'm not black enough, I'm a house nigger. Like, what am I? You know what I mean? So this is kind of why a lot of mixed race people are fucked up in the head. But speaking of, because I know a lot of mixed race people tend to have anxiety and tend to be suicidal. But what I really wanted to focus on, because I don't want to go on a tangent, I want to talk about what you talked about, because you, and I'm not sure if you're comfortable talking about this, but at one point you were suicidal, and I did look at that video, and I looked up the statistics on black men. Andre, black men between ages 18 and 25, a lot of black men are killing themselves. Suicide isn't just white people shit. You know what I mean? Like, and that's something that really gets me angry, because a lot of black people would just laugh about it and make fun of someone. Black men, the third most common way for black men to die is by suicide, either shooting themselves in the head or hanging themselves. It's not the Klan going around hanging blacks. No, it's black men literally being like, I'm fucking done. I hate my life. I'm done. And they hang themselves. Like, this is a real issue. This isn't just a white boy named Luke or, oh, my mom made me eat my broccoli and I killed my. No, these are black men that have no ambition, no drive, no purpose, and everyone in their corner that's supposed to love and support them either isn't there or hurting him. You know what I mean? So that's what really got me upset. I'm like, suicide is so common in the black community, but they're like, oh, that's some white boy pussy shit. And that really like rubs me the wrong way. You know what I mean?
It rubs me the wrong way. I mean, not only am I black, I'm also a veteran, so it's a big thing. And when you look at the suicide rate amongst veterans and active duty members, I mean, it's a lot. So, yeah, it really pissed me off. It was one kid. It was a Trey Reed.
Yeah.
He hung himself, and then the other kid, Kyle Basinga, and then these fucking niggers are gonna get on the internet and say that he ain't no black person gonna hang themselves. That's like, are you fucking? They really like that's the most disgusting shit in the world. And this wasn't black women talking. These were other black men saying this.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't know anything about your own people. Like, you don't know shit about what the fuck your own people are going through, or just your own sex is going through. Men, the fact that you would sit back and especially the times you're living in, you think that, no, they ain't gonna do it because they black. Ain't no black person go hang themselves. You're a fucking piece of shit. When I heard that and saw that fucking video, fucking disgusted by that. Just to sit back and hear somebody to say that and to with so much pride and confidence. Ain't no black person go hang themselves. Just dismissing dismissing the situation and the loss of life in order to make it's not even a political point. It's just a retarded nigga point because it has really no basis in reality. There's nothing.
Yeah.
They're just saying this shit because they don't want to face the fact and reality that we're dealing with such a massive problem in the black community, and they rather ignore it. And this is the problem with these fucking nigglets. They'll sit back and ignore every problem that we have because it's either white people's fault or secretly white people fucking did it, or white people are fucking they're doing something to make it happen. They snap their fingers and fucking a potion drop down. They think some Wizard of Oz shit's going on, like some fucking Hogwarts shit's going on. White people snapping their fingers and then shit's happening to niggas. No, it's that we're not addressing the massive mental health crisis that we have once in this country and also in the black community, because you don't have any fathers in the household. Every environment is just shitty. Culturally, the entire living standard of black people is poor. You go to school, you go to work, and if you're not adhering to the black standard of being a fucking nigga, you're not looked at as a black person. So there's a lot of peer pressure to do things that are unhealthy and just completely wrong. Think about that are very unhealthy. A lot of pressure society in terms of culturally to do the worst shit and to be the worst person. And the moment you try to step out of that, you're considered less than anything. And then when you get met with other people who are successful and doing well and not operating that way, that also hits you mentally. Like, well, fuck, am I fucked up? Am I a fucked up person? All my friends who may be black and coming from a better area or white in a better area, they're doing this and doing that, and I come from this. Maybe I'm fucked up. And it drives you to a point of like, well, shit, it's time to go. And that's something that we always want to ignore. But it's a honest reality. It's a harsh reality, harsh reality of what we're dealing with as a people.
Terrifying reality. Yeah. And I just hate it. It really got me angry because I'm like, you remind me like when I saw Nick Fuentes, like I'm so sick of people saying black and proud, black excellence. Where are those same people that claim to be pro-black? People are the most anti-black I've ever seen. They live in ignorance. Like this whole we wasery, this whole niggery bullshit, we was kangs. I saw Twangola respond to these type of reactions. I really like him. He's like nonchalant, calm and collected, and very well spoken.
Yeah.
I get upset because I'm like, what about what you can be? Focus on the accomplishments of your ancestors, of people that basically rejected your own. What about Black Americans? I'm sick of Black Americans taking on the word African as a part of their identity. These are people that rejected you. They don't want to live near you. You know what I mean? Your own ancestral people are saying, hey, we made our choice. We sold your asses. We don't want to be around you. You know what I mean? Even when you see Black Americans move to parts of sub-Saharan Africa, they don't want to be around them. So when your own people hate you and you notice a divide, it's time to wake the fuck up and realize, hey, accountability needs to be taken. Hey, more Black men are race mixing. Hey, handsome, successful Black men, a lot of them don't like their own women. Like, for example, Demetrius Johnson doesn't hate black women. However, a lot of his experiences with black women as a black man have been negative. They'd always bully him. And guess what happened? He has a white wife, RG3. People commented on his comments, and they're acting as if he's less black or less of a black person because he has a white wife. But like when you see Dejon Reed, when you see Joel Patrick, when you see well-spoken black men or mixed race men that
I honestly don't even like those guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't stand those guys because there is a point to make. Yeah, there is a point to make about them that they are weak. Honestly, that the goal shouldn't be to go with white women. It should be to find good black women and to be with them and also set the standard of this is what black excellence is. This is what the black family should be. I have a black wife, and my black wife, she listens to me, and she's not going to sit back and do this dumb shit. Or get you a mixed girl. I mean, if you want something that's white, you want the closest, get you a mixed girl. Mixed girls are my favorite. That's my thing. So that's just how it is. So that's how I look at it. I don't like Joel Patrick. I think he's a fucking faggot. Dejon's cool. I don't have a problem with him. He's a cool dude. But I do feel some type of way about these dudes who are just like, I want to go with white women. It's like, I can't take you. It's nothing on their own personal level. Fine. That's your personal preference. I have nothing wrong with that. But when they step into the political arena, I'm not going to take you seriously. And I don't think you should be taken seriously because you're already showing that there's no relatability. They're already unrelatable because Joel Patrick is just so fucking performative with the MAGA shit. I can't stand these MAGA hat niggers. I can't fucking stand them. I don't need to put on a costume to prove that I'm right wing or I'm far right or whatever you want to call it, that I am a nationalist.
Right. No, I get that.
That doesn't really matter. That I'm an American nationalist and I'm a Christian nationalist and I believe in this country and furthering Western civilization and Christian identity. I don't need to put on a fucking costume for that. The only costume or uniform I wore was the one I got right there, a fucking beret, and a nice uniform that I got from the army. That's it. That's the only thing I'm going to put on and say like I served something and I did that. But these people, they wear a MAGA hat and I'm Trump and I'm pro-Trump and I'm a black Trump supporter and black MAGA, and it's like shut the fuck up. You're ruining the chance of a black alternative politically in this country. You're making it into this corporate Jewish bullshit, and nobody wants to listen. The Brandon Tatums, the Tanish Peters, all these people, the Xavier, what's that fucking faggot? He's a homosexual. I don't even know how we take this homosexual seriously. You're not conservative. You're gay. You're a prime example of single mother raised households. I don't want to hear shit from you. You're a former BLM fucking activist. You got picked up by Pricker. You a Jewish institution, Jewish organization.
Money.
And guess what? Yeah, like I can't take you seriously. You're not a serious individual. You should be discarded. No one should ever listen to you. The only people who watch him are women. So they're just as fucking retarded to sit back and take him seriously. Oh, he says the same things you're saying, Andre. Why don't you guys get along? Because he's not a genuine fucking person and does not represent a genuine alternative for black people at all. If the entire goal is that we're going to move from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party, then we're fucking losing. I don't think that's a good way of going about things. I think that the best thing for black people is to do things and to look at things and to operate independently, not in this corporate hodgepodge of bullshit, because we're just trading one piece of shit for the other.
No, I agree. It's just that I think Joel Patrick is well spoken. I'm not saying I don't like how he's MAGA. I'm very anti-Israel. But I do see it is a huge problem in black identity. We see, hey, go for a white woman. Hey, because I'm going to be honest, as someone who is mixed, white women are my type. I am single now. I'm not focused on a relationship because I really need to get.
It's different. You're mixed. Yeah. It's different. And when mixed people can go either way, it's not really it's not a problem, per se when it comes to mixed race individuals. Because like I said, they can go either way. And that's kind of the reality for mixed race people. Let's just be real. There's never going to, it's going to take millions of years for you guys to have your own group. So as long as you exist, it's going to be either two paths. Either I want to go black or white or just whatever is more culturally dominant for me, or whatever cultural influence that is more dominant in my life, I'm going to adhere to and I'm going to go to. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why I consider most mixed people black. And if they consider themselves white, then so on, so be it. I think that most white people
are a little retarded. I mean, look at me, I got my Negro features. Yeah. I think that'd be ridiculous to say, hey, I'm a white guy, But
it's hard to push that than it is black. Yeah.
No, obviously, yeah. That's like I'm no different from Gypsy Crusader if I claim to be a white nationalist. You know what I mean? I mean, this guy's like Indian, Turkish, and Mexican, and bro's fresh from the border. Same thing with Fuentes. You see his Amerindian features. He's definitely looking more Mexican.
But he's white passing, as we'll say. He's got the white. Both him and Gypsy are, in terms of anthropologically, in terms of genetics, they're white. In terms of phenotype and appearance, of course, you can make an argument back and forth, but they are still genetically of European ancestry, of European descent. So that's
Yeah.
something we can
The
always
Gypsies are more
classify
like
them.
Indian, like Europeans. Like you could tell, like he has like South Asian
Indo-European,
and
yeah.
Turkish features.
Which,
Turkish people are Middle Eastern, usually ancestry wise.
but even people throughout that entire of Minor Asia, throughout that entire area, from Turkey all the way to even Persia, are considered white like in terms of their
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
ancestry, in terms of their genetic similarity. They're more genetically similar towards white people than they were somewhere else. Okay, so that's how it
Absolutely.
is. Northern Africans, the same thing. They're more genetically aligned and similar to people from Southern Europe than they would be someone from South Africa or someone
Absolutely.
from fucking West Africa. Doesn't mean that's just the whole thing. Most people don't. They look at that as like, well, I had this conversation like, Arabs are not white. I said, yeah, they're not white in appearance, like obviously, but in terms
Yeah.
of similarity and just where they
Yeah,
derive from
pretty close. Yeah.
ancestrally, they are. Yeah. So.
Even when you look, I guess, like Neolithic farmers and like different groups that they've mixed with, like even some people in Syria, like in Aleppo, they're,
Mhm.
they're like my dad. There would be people like blonde hair, blue eyes, green eyes. There are Syrians that are like whiter than people in Scotland. So I mean, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Middle East is fascinating. It's it's a very like diverse place. Like not everyone's like brown. Some people are like extremely dark. Some people are like pale. Some are more like olive skinned. So it is really interesting, I guess, from like a genetic standpoint. They're all like distinct, divergent in a way, different Semitic groups, like Assyrians compared to Phoenicians. But I don't know. It's like I understand like why certain people are relatable in a sense and why they get their views. Like I forget this one guy because there are things he says that are right. Who's the other gay black guy? Rob. And I remember when you were reacting to his video, Rob, you take it in the ass, so I'm not sure I could take you very seriously. And I started laughing because like these men claim to be conservative, but like, I mean, dude, you get ass fucked. You know what I mean? Like, how can people really take that shit seriously? How can Christians be like, oh, I stand for Christianity and Jesus, but like you listen to gay influencers that follow the degeneracy you claim to be against, and then these people are secret cross dressers, and then you got people in cabinet that have like the fucking tit strap-ons, and then it's like, man, it just lost its plot. You look at both Democrats and Republicans, it's the same shit. People are still arguing over which party is better. Am I more right-leaning? Yeah, but like I don't agree with the Republicans. They're traitors, just like the Democrats are. So I mean, I do like Reed a lot because he talks about the Jewish question. Like he did beef with people online, but I did like how he was open and honest and he talks about issues in the Black community. My only thing is I didn't like he's the exact problem of there's this one guy, what's his fucking name? He didn't pay child support for his kid. Wow, that's very, very specific and forward. What's his name? He was a streamer. He was the guy. You should kill yourself now. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, you're talking about fucking low tier guy. I love that guy. That guy's fucking hilarious. He's fallen off a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
From what I've
Is
seen.
it true he hasn't like paid child support for his kid or some shit?
I don't know. I only know him from a few clips and shit. That's it. I think he's funny, but other than that, I don't watch streamers like that. I'm not a streamer person. I don't really watch anybody.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in like 5 years.
Yeah.
So like,
those days are over for me. My favorite streamer I was watching for years was Mr. Medicare. That was it. I don't watch anyone else. That's like the only person from the old days of the internet that I would watch. Other than that, I've always been watching, anything that's in form of History Channel shit, or I'm, looking at I don't really have time to watch people. I have to look for content, look for, something to push my message. That's it. Working on videos, working on shit. So,
yeah. I understand, you're a very busy man. But like earlier when we talked about cartoons and animations, did you watch Regular Show growing up?
Of course, dude. That was a Cartoon Network.
Are you excited for the Lost Tapes? That's gonna be pretty sick.
Yeah. I'm mad that they got rid of Smiling Friends. That was a good show. I actually like that from Adult Swim. That was a really good show, and they took it off the air. I would say that was on the same level as regular show humor. But yeah, nothing's good anymore. And it goes back to what we were talking about, like the Boondocks and all these shows. You know, there's so much fucking money they want to just milk out of everything instead of making something and allow it to exist in that time and be timeless. They want to just milk the fuck out of it until the end. Like I said, with Call of Duty, they're doing the same thing. They're gonna do it with Grand Theft Auto for fucking ever. They're gonna milk the shit out of it until it's like GTA 20, and niggas gonna be waiting in 2100. Like, I can't wait for GTA 20 to come out.
And then it'll crack $1 trillion in like the first 5 days.
They do this shit with the 2K. Nigga, 2K 28 came out, nigga. It's like, what the fuck can you do now? Can the ball go higher? You know, are we playing on the fucking moon? Like, 2K30 out, nigga. Keep the new 2K.
Zero gravity dunking.
What the fuck is the difference? Like, you know, we can't just have something and let it be timeless. And it's like, oh, this is great. This is great for the time. Let's move on. We got to milk the fuck out of it, dude. That's why they always say that sequels are the worst thing. But, you know, with so many different genres in certain industries, you know, a sequel can work. But with these niggas, they want to make a fucking sequel after a sequel and the prequel, and then also like the Star Wars shit. They ruined the Star Wars franchise. I'm space shit. And they ruined that shit. You know, they have faggots and fucking, you know, lightsabers, you know, all this stupid gay shit. Lightsabers aren't really killing people. This is dumb as fuck.
Yeah, like Acolyte, and even before Acolyte is where it lost the plot, because when you see this new trilogy, I'm like, George Lucas's work completely ignored because of some DEI bullshit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I got really pissed off because I remember when I was watching the trilogy, when I'm like, these characters are so useless. And some had potential and could have been great. Like, there was no need for Acolyte. What, a bunch of space Negro lesbos decide, you know what, we can use the Force and procreate kids. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This defeats the whole purpose of Anakin's existence. He's the only one that's Force bound, that was created by the Force. Like, what is this? You know, Star Wars lost its plot for what? Yeah.
For money. That's all it is. For money, not for a cultural revival, not for, you know, something that will add to the culture that is, like I said, it's going to move it forward or just be great. It's just, you know, let's get some more money out of it. We got to get some more shekels out of it. I don't know. Get some more T-shirts. We'll fill up the studio. It'll be really good. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Now I can't sit back and watch this shit. Now I don't enjoy it. And like people fucking enjoy it, the nerd, like the extreme fat fucking retards, the Redditors, they love it. The Redditors love it. But even some of them hate it. Even fucking Reddit hates the shit. That's funny to see. Like, a lot of these Redditors don't even like this shit because it's so gay. You know? We shut on it first, but it's like, fuck, dude. It's who wants to watch this shit? It's not entertaining. There's nothing that comes from it. I really hate that they've ruined so much of media today. You can't watch shit. You can't listen to shit. But it is a sign. The thing is that the circus is coming to a close. The circus is ending. That's a good thing for us, but it's kind of miserable to just live and just like, oh, fuck, I have to just sit back and listen to the same shit over and over again. Like the wife will complain, like, you listen to the same songs over and over again. It's like, yeah, because there's nothing fucking new to come out. Like, there's nothing else. Like, what are you talking? It's like they don't have shit. Like, she's got, I don't know what the fuck. She loves the Melanie Martinez shit. She listens to that shit all the time. It's like, she's got a new concert, new album coming out. It's like, okay, weird bitch has new shit coming up. Great. I don't have that. There's nothing for me. I have to listen to the same 100 songs over and over again because, you know, that's all I've got. You've got like dumb bitch Billie Eilish has a new album. It's like, great, like cool. You've dumb bitch made new dumb bitch shit and dumb bitches can listen to it. Great. But it's real niggas. We can't listen to nothing. All right. Everything is old. We got to either go, you know, I guess the meme was right. Just build your own. Just go make your own. You know, this shit sucks. Go make your own
album.
And I guess that's what we got to do. You know, we got to do it. We got to do it. But every time we make our own shit, they get shut down. But, you know, who fucking cares? I guess that's the great thing. Life is a struggle. Nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is absolute, and everything has to be worked for. So I always say this to people: things will get worse, and they'll continue to get worse. And it's a good thing that they're getting worse, because what will come after this is a great time and a better time, and that's that is something that is guaranteed. But what guarantees it is our people's drive for it, their demand for it, and I think that's something that exists with us, Gen Z, but it can only be secured by those who are willing to inspire and to lead people, to guide people in that direction, and are unrelenting in doing so. If we just continue down this path of just letting shit, you know, falling the way it's going, things are going to spiral and just say it's going to be very dark. But like I said, as time goes on, there's always something that comes after the dark ages. And right now, currently, we're in the modern day of dark ages. I think we've been in it for the last 40 years or so. The dark ages of the modern era. So we'll get past it. At least by the end of our lifetime, we'll be past it. So something we can look forward to for our children and grandchildren. And we may not be able to see it. We'll have like a few years of living in, the life of the new American luxury and the new American dream and whatnot. But it's more so about what our children and grandchildren will have. That's something a lot of people don't understand. They're not willing to understand sacrifice. That's something that we have removed from ourselves as Americans. Fuck, we just Westerners. As Americans, we've removed that we don't have an understanding of sacrifice. We have an understanding of honor. I do believe that we still have that honor, and that there is a greater purpose towards things. But in terms of sacrificing yourself for that greater purpose, we're very selfish. We're like, no, they're just so individualistic. Very individualistic, very hyper materialistic. We don't really want to focus on what goes beyond it, the metaphysical.
No, I agree, man. It's just everything's fake and gay. I remember I was talking to someone. I saw an old Trump clip. He was like, the boys don't have a problem with it. And he was talking to a woman about, I think like boys where teachers were having sex with underage boys. And I thought about it. I remember there was a story from Russia where some woman was about to get robbed. And then she knocked the guy unconscious, pig-tied him, force fed him Viagra and raped him. I'm like, God damn it, should have been me. Who snitched? You know what I mean? Like, I'm so sick of this generation, man. Oh my God, man. If that was 14-year-old me, boom, 30 seconds wouldn't have lasted. What the hell, man? Threw that shit right out the window. Who told on Olga? Olga's kind of bad. I can't lie. And I'm just freaking the fuck out. I'm like, why? Like, are you gay? And I'm like, why would you do that? You know what I mean? Dude. All the eggs were in the basket. It was right there for you. And you just had to fuck it up, man. Lucky bastard, man. I'm telling you.
Lucky. But
it's like, yeah, man. But
yeah,
the way men and women are, we're so different. Like I tell women all the time, this is kind of random. I feel like the last time I dated a woman, I said, yo, women sexualize us, Andre. We're the hotter gender. I don't give a fuck what anyone says, and I can prove it. When a woman comes up to me, guess what she compliments? My eyelashes. Oh, I wish I had your eyelashes, but they're, they got glued cum lashes to their face with God knows what it's made of. Maybe like beaver feces or some shit they have attached to their face. Or maybe they have like horse asses hair on their eyelashes. I don't fucking know. But what I can tell you is that they'll have all these different types of paints and bullshit that they put on their face. They want more masculine features. They'll look at it. Or they'll be jealous of a guy's feminine features like eyelashes. They'll look at my eyebrows, look at me compliments. Dude, my ex was built like a plank of wood, okay? I had nothing to grab. I had no ass to slap. She slapped my ass, okay? I was a bitch, Andre. Think about what that has done to me mentally, all right? I was the blacker one. I had the juicier ass, all right? She had nothing. I had nothing to work with. You know what I mean? Like I literally, oh my God.
If that's your poison that you want to pick, I mean, come on, you can't. I don't see a problem with that. I like a little juice. I'm a titty dude. I don't care about ass. I like titties. All right, big titties are my thing. Like she can have the flattest ass, but the nicest titties. That's all that matters to me.
Like, here's the thing. I like thighs. That's where the magic happens. But like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's true.
Back when like I had longer hair, like I'd always like relax on her leg. She'd always like put her hands like in my head, and it was like the nicest feeling ever. It was therapeutic. And like I don't know, man. I can't stand people like Sigmund Freud was right. This is the only Jew that I'll quote that where he was low-key valid. That women secretly desire to have a penis. I'm like, yo, tell me, like, if I ask a woman right now, period cramps are the worst. I wish I had a dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want to be.
That's what they always say. Yep. They say it all the time.
Absolutely.
I wish I had a penis. I don't want to deal with these period cramps. It's like, bitch. You know what you should do? You know what you should do? Bitch, you should go back and argue with Eve. If Eve didn't do what the fuck she did, you'd be in a better position. But too bad, Eve fucked it up for you. Simple as that. Fuck Eve. She did it. You know, Adam was trying to tell that bitch, don't do. The nigga said, don't touch that fucking tree
Just have to be
and
a
get the
feminist, have
apple.
to be Jewish, and have to defy the man. So hey, I mean that's what happens.
Yeah, I'm not gonna listen to the man. Fuck him and fuck
I'm a bad
Adam.
bitch.
Okay.
I'm a strong,
Yeah,
independent
she
woman.
wanted to
Fuck
go.
Adam.
Yeah, I'm bad. We here. The fuck. Okay,
I
bitch.
just
Yeah,
work. Fuck
and now
Adam.
you
He's
have
out
to
here in
suffer.
my body, my
Yeah,
choice.
now you got to suffer, and now I got to pay for all this shit and do all this shit. At least we got a good deal, you know. At least God didn't fuck with us, and you know, He's like, y'all just gonna have to pay for this shit. This bitch gonna have to suffer. You know, y'all got it bad, bitches. You got to carry this nigga for 9 months, push him out for fucking however long, how many hours. It's gonna hurt like hell. We ain't got to deal with this shit. We just sitting there like, oh damn,
You done
bitch, got to
yet?
push the damn baby big as hell. 9 pound baby. Hey, on to the next one. Let's go find another one. You know, let's go do this. We don't have to worry about that shit. So that's the whole thing. That I. That's the whole dynamic with men and women is that you deal what you got to deal with, you know. And this is why it's important for women to understand when they're getting these relationships and they're picking the partners. I mean, you have to carry the weight you have to carry to get to this point is a lot. You know, if you're gonna sit back and fuck around and be a whore, don't be surprised when you get used like a whore. But you know, also remember that at the end of the day, you're gonna have to bear a child. And do you want to bear a child with a man that is not going to be able to take care of you? Because that's the entire thing that a lot of guys don't understand is that men are the prize today. As a man, you're the prize, not the woman. I don't give a fuck how big the titties are, or how fat the ass is, or how pretty the face is. You're the prize because you're gonna. All you have to do is provide resources and protection. That's it. You provide the best resources and the best protection, she's going to stay. Simple as that. That's just a guarantee that she's going to do. You know. Now the thing is that a lot of these women, when they don't fucking have any fathers and they've been fucking around or not, they don't really realize what they got. And that also comes from men not having control in the situation or have control in the relationship or just having what I mean by control is more of this. They have faith and a lot of energy towards you of like, this is my man. This is somebody I'm going to be with. And it's someone who I want to be with. Because there's a lot of guys who have the resources and they can provide the protection, and bitches still will go fuck around. That's like we have to examine what did the man fail to do. There is always room to say that the man failed to do something at the end of the day. We can't take responsibility for that. Bitches are going to be whores, but at the end of the day, you know, man, you got to take responsibility. Like, okay, what were you lacking in as well? Because bitches will do everything to say that they didn't do anything wrong. Anytime you ask a girl, "What were your last relationships like?"
Oh, well, I don't know.
These
You know,
niggas,
it just didn't work
they don't
out.
do that. And,
Yeah.
yeah, it didn't work out, and you know, they couldn't handle me. I was the bad bitch. They couldn't handle me. It's like, Key, you were the bad bitch. You were the bad guy. You were the bad woman in the fucking situation. It's not that he was a piece of shit. It's that you couldn't sit down and examine how you were failing. So what you do to tell everyone that you come across is this new story to get by. This is what you'll do. You know, if something happens to you and that's embarrassing, you go to a new town. You're not going to, and people are asking like, well, why'd you come over here? You're not going to tell them the full story of what happened. You're going to tell them like, well, I had to leave because I had some stuff going on, and just, you know, I want to start fresh. You're not going to tell them exactly this embarrassing shit happened. Everyone would do this, but women, they do it all the fucking time because they never want to take responsibility for their failures and their shortcomings. Men can do that. A lot of these effeminate ass men today don't want to do that, but men today, we can do that. We can do this. A handful of us, we can do it. Women, they don't want to do it. They refuse to sit back and take accountability and understand where they're going and how they fucked up.
No, and I'm gonna be honest because like when I in my last time I hung out with a woman, I told her my political views, and she told me that's fine. We don't see eye to eye on things. And then when she didn't want to, you know, hang out with me anymore, she says, "Oh, we don't see eye to eye on things." I warned her in the beginning. I'm like, "Yo, here's how I feel about niggers and Jews. I'm insane. All right. On the political spectrum, I'm a little retarded. I might have some sort of mental retardation. We'll figure that out eventually. But like, I told her straight up." And then when I met her friend, it was all pressure on her because like what her friends think of her for being around someone like me. And I understand why she did what she did. But look, I'm the type of guy to warn you. You know, I'm not going to sleaze my way in the relationship and then out of all of a sudden I just Tyrone and chimp out and beat the shit out of you. And then you have bastardless children, you know. But I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm like, yo, I'm actually insane. You know, I'm a little retarded. I say crazy shit. Oh, okay. And then when the crazy shit happens, then
you're not retarded. You're not insane. This is my worldview. This is what I believe. And when you're straight up with them, you don't preface it with like I'm fucking insane and retarded. It's more of, hey, this is my take on things. Yes, I'm very right wing. I have these perspectives on the world and people, and either you're going to deal with that or not, because women are going to shift to your politics the more and more you're around them. Always. That's the whole thing. The
Yeah.
men, I'm not really a big fan of guys, especially with like the Groypers and a lot of the people I'm around on the right who are just like, I want this like Catholic virgin wife and all this other shit.
You gotta talk to a woman first.
Or that, yeah. And it's like, yeah, you got to talk to women. And it's like, I want them to have like the same beliefs as me from the go. It's like, that's not how that works, nigga. This is not how it works. Your girlfriend, your wife, they're not going to have the same beliefs as you. They're just not going to. You have to teach them that and inform them and influence them towards that. If they don't fucking want it, then they don't fucking want it, and go find one that's more susceptible to your worldview and able to listen to you. Simple as that. But you're not going to get them to agree 100% and all that shit. The only most important thing is getting them to understand that this is how the children need to be raised. That's it. This is how we're going to raise this family. That's all that matters. But like, if she fucking likes Trump or not, or all this other stupid shit, like, who fucking cares about that? Niggas will sit there and harp on that shit. And honestly, the women who are more conservative and who are right leaning, especially among black women, the black conservative women are the angriest, the most masculine. You think the nigga bitches are masculine? They're just as masculine as the nigga bitches. They're not women that you want to get with. When I see black conservative women who are like, I'm based and I'm the one, it's like, no, bitch, you're part of the problem as well. You know, you're nice. Like, don't get me wrong. There's some fantastic content creators out there who I love, who I'm great friends with, wonderful people, love them to death. But there's a lot of them beyond the ones I'm talking about, who are just insufferable. It's like there's a reason for why you're not married. There's a reason for why you're not in a relationship. It's not because you're conservative and you have these beliefs. It's because you are just as masculine and just as controlling, and have all this dick envy. You have dick envy. That's all it is. That's all it is with a lot of these girls. So.
No, absolutely. I agree with that. And, it all comes full circle in the end. You know what I mean? Like, if you have someone like, I do want a woman that's either left leaning or centrist. However, I don't want her liberal to the point where if I say I don't want her to be like a stupid white bitch that makes a stupid bitch face, it was like, oh my God, he said nigger. Well, I'm a quarter nigger, bitch. What are you going to do? Get offended? Complain and write me a whole essay on how racist I am? Like, what the fuck are we doing here? You know what I mean? I said nigger. You're going to shut the fuck up and let me, have my beers. And I'm going to say what I'm going to say, And this is coming from a guy that's never drank before. So, but... You know what I mean? Like, hold my beer, son. I'm going to bust some hard R's. Going to do donuts in the driveway. But it's so aggravating because I feel like everything, whether it's politics or shows, like you even said yourself, has lost its plot. There's no soul, no energy, no love into it. Like, when I look at DC characters like Red Hood, I love Jason Todd's story. I hate what the fuck they did with Jason Todd. They can't give him a good storyline. I hate how in, what the fuck is it called? It was a series that they made about him where he was with Green Arrow and like Red Arrow, and with Starfire where he was like a sex deprived freak. I liked Jason because he was the balance. You can't stop crime. You can control it. You know what I mean? That's what I love about Jason Todd's character. He was technically the better Batman for Gotham because he had a permanent solution. Crime rate literally decreased in Gotham because of Jason Todd. Now, I hate his fucking redesigns and all that other bullshit and the horrible stories, but I love Red Hood's origin where, hey, he knew Bruce better than he knew himself. He was a part of the Bat family. He was the biggest failure. But in reality, he's probably better than all the Batmen and all the Robins and all the other people in the Bat family combined. He actually got his hands dirty and did what he needed to do. And I think we need more Red Hoods. We need more Jason Todds. We need people that understand their area, that know, and that's the thing with you. Like, I like how you get to the bottom, you get down and dirty, and you say what needs to be said. Same thing with Twangola. But I also want to hear solutions. Like a black kid told me, I was like, Dylan, you're not giving solutions. I'm like, it should be obvious. Don't have sex with people you hate. Like, I even told my friend this. She's mixed race. I'm like we hear constantly about black men being bums and not taking care of their kids, and black women being whores and procreating with people that don't respect them, and they complain when men don't respect them, but then they'll manipulate a boring guy into taking care of a kid that's not his. Now, here's what's funny. The boring guy ain't shit, but you're going to go for the abusive narcissist. What if that black woman also lied to her son and daughter into hating a man that they don't know? What if their dad wasn't the bad guy or simply didn't know that their kids existed or exists, or that black man simply tries his hardest every day to find his kids, but that black woman is not letting him see his kids. You know what I mean? There's so much more to the story. It's not just the man, the woman, weak men or men that are not present there at all. This impacts the family. We see more gay kids in the black community. I'm going to be honest, Andre, I think it's very common. I've met a lot of gay black women. I've seen it a lot. Like even at my job, the gay black woman that I work with, she's sweet. I got nothing against her. But I notice a lot more and more, especially in Jersey, a lot of homosexuals, especially when it comes to self-hating whites.
Go to Atlanta. Atlanta is the nigga cultural capital of America, is the gay cesspool of America. None but fucking black gay niggas over there with their gay ass shit all over the place. It's disgusting. I mean, it's fucking disgusting. The reason for why you see so many these gay black bitches is because they're all raised by one masculine black woman who take the role as the man, not the father, but the man in the household, and the mother and the woman in the household, and they're surrounded by these bitches and they become gay. That's why you see these bitches. I'm bisexual, I'm pansexual, I'm all this shit. It's like, bitch, you're just confused because you never had a man in your life that was strong enough to deal with you. Never had your father in your life that was there to raise you. And you never had any shining example of what a man should be. So get with that. The only example of a man is your masculine, fat, ugly fucking mother who's loud and obnoxious and will fight and do all this shit. And you take those traits and you become a woman off those traits from this bad example. This is the fucking problem. I did a video today with these fucking two half a fag ass niggas wearing the shit.
I saw that. Yeah.
We dress the best. I hate niggas that carry the S. Nigga, you're gays, faggots. Motherfucker. Like you've got some, like a man, and it's like there's not a single black father that can come, a black man that can come into life and change them. There are two failed ass niggas. The goal and the solution is having stronger black families that separate themselves from this kind of culture. You got these hyper materialistic ass, half a fag ass niggas walking around with Ugg boots on and acrylic fucking nails and shit, talking about they men and they black men and they masculine. You're a little boy. With a lot of black men today dress like little boys. They don't get up. They don't put anything on. They don't style themselves right. They don't do a damn thing. The only thing they'll do is their hair and shoes. That's the first thing. They put something on their ass with somebody else's name, and that's it. That's the only thing they care about, putting someone else's name on their ass. And that's the most gay shit a man can do. And that's why the numbers for homosexuality and HIV is high among blacks than it is anyone else. Because we have a lot of fucking faggots and niggas on the DL in the community. I have a lot of niggas who are on the DL. That's one thing. But someone will say, oh, no, there's more gay white people. Yeah, like I said, per capita, more faggots in our community than there is anyone else. Simple as that. We keep letting them be raised by these black women who just guide them down a terrible path.
Yeah, and even when I was talking about stats and I was looking up per capita, I saw a Puerto Rican guy. He was talking about the concept of capita. Black people always freak the fuck out when they hear about per individual, or they'll claim, hey, statistics are racist. I'm like, all right, I'll use in America are referred to as white. Are those criminal statistics inaccurate? You know what I mean? When you complain about racism, all right, let's look at this full spectrum. Let's not just make it about you. There are people that are mixed race. I could identify as a white man. I mean, look at me. That's stupid. But in America, I could. And if I committed a crime, I could be registered as a white man. Like, people don't think about that. You know what I mean? Like how off the stats could be. There are Hispanics that identify as white. There are people that are Kurdish that say they're white. There are people that are other Middle Eastern Semitic groups that consider themselves white. Like, let's say if you're like Assyrian or Chaldean, or like, let's say if you're an Ashkenazi Jew, or if you're Sephardic, you could be labeled or identified as white and commit a crime, and you could be labeled as white. And that's the thing. Speaking of the usual suspects, when it came to Tyler Oliveira, did you see how his videos was shut down? His Patreon account was shut down. His videos, like as soon as he went up to upstate in New York, or like the Jewish communities in my state in Jersey, he loses old sponsors. They demand to be pulled away from his videos. They want nothing to do with him. I like Tyler Oliveira and Nick Shirley because, like I said, they're willing to get their boots dirty. They're willing to investigate. They're willing to take a look and realize, hey, our country's really fucked up right now. We're being lied to. Journalism has lost its sauce. It's lost its purpose. Journalism isn't journalism anymore. You know what I mean? We're not getting the scoop. We're not getting the secret. We're not being kept up to date. We are being given pre-planned stories, right? So that's what I liked about Tyler. And because let's be honest, he goes to every community. He's like black, white, Asian, whatever. As soon as he went to upstate New York or places in Jersey, his videos get taken down. And he's called an anti-Semite and all this other shit happens. And we cannot allow ourselves to be desensitized and controlled anymore. We got to say enough is enough. And, I know you're a busy man, so I understand if you got to go. I don't want to keep you up any longer. But I think we need more Oliveras. We need more Shirleys. We need more people that are passionate and willing to get the truth down, willing to take a risk. These people are literally putting their life on the line for us.
Yeah, I like Tyler. And I like Nick Shirley. He's cool. I like what they do. I didn't like the fact that they gave, these people on the right are giving Nick Shirley more attention than they are Tyler. Tyler's kind of like the underdog, the underground. I wouldn't say underground. The underground's like he's very obscure, but you know what I'm talking. For our side of politics, he's more favored than how Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley is like a universal household name. Tyler's not a household name. He's more of a name that we know on our side of politics, given the fact that he did that. So, but it's still highly respected. Both are still highly respected. Two different things. I didn't like when people were saying like they're trying to prop up Nick Shirley so he can. It's like I don't think they're doing that. I think that he is somebody that is genuine, making content, doing his thing, that isn't in depth politically or is aware as you and I are, and that's fine. Not everyone's going to be. Sometimes you just have to accept that not everyone is going to be aware to this. Now the question: are they hostile? Are they completely ignorant? Like when they're pushing against it, when they know that this is the problem, and they just like outright reject it.
Right. They'd be like,
That's when there's a problem. Yeah. But if they refuse to have the conversation because it's like, well, it's not interesting to me. I really don't care. You can't get mad and try to force like, well, Nick Shirley needs to go to the Jewish community and talk. And, if he doesn't, he's a paid actor. It's like, he doesn't have to. Now, if he goes there and he tries to spin the story and make it into something else, then we can sit back and talk about that. But I hate a lot of people on the right who shit on Nick Shirley. Like, he's just a fucking, like, he's just a grifter and a paid actor and he's a Mormon and all this.
He's young.
Yeah, let him do. He's the same age as us. Like, let him do what the fuck he wants to do. Like, fuck off. Like, I mean, I let him do. Tyler is different. Tyler is, he went out and did something. And it's a lot more raw. It's a lot raw, very raw. Nick Shirley is like PG-13. Tyler's rated R, in my opinion. And not everyone wants to watch a rated R movie. That's just how it is. And we have to respect it. They're both doing great work. Yeah, they're both doing great work at this day. So I can't really shit on either one. You did want to ask me about Jake Lang shit. Let's get into that a little bit because I got a little information, a lot of stuff, and we can end it off there. So, what was your question to me about that?
I'm really confused on this guy because what were the messages with that teenager? What was that about? I didn't hear the whole story.
So what I know, because I was in the background with people who were close to him, he was trying to fuck this little girl. He was trying to fuck this girl, and I guess this was like a ploy, whatnot. It's just not a serious thing. It was like kind of like a fishing thing. And regardless how you put it, he doubled down on it. He doubled down on it and didn't back away from it. So if it was real or not, he doubled down on it and just proved himself to be just a disgusting fuck. Because if it wasn't real and this was like, oh, I fucked up, disgusting of me to do, own up to it. That's the thing. Take responsibility. You being a fucking nigger about it and just like trying to scoot by and being like, you're just showing that you're just a disgusting Jew and nobody wants to listen to, and get the fuck on. And I only knew Jake Lang from the Dearborn event, and I went to the APAC shit in New York, but that wasn't because I went because of Jake Lang. I went for Dearborn was, if anything's going on in my area, I'm going to go. And especially if there's going to be high level names and big names that was there. Nick Shirley was there, Nick Sorter was there, Cam Higby was there, Jade Warwick was there. So there's a lot of decent people who are in my sphere in terms of content creation that are going. Well, it makes sense for me to go as well. So out there and did my thing and became acquainted not with just Jake Lang, but another individual by the name of Jaden Scott, who was the one who set up the entire event. So this wasn't Jake Lang's event. Jake Lang was just only the face and the celebrity face. Yeah, he was just there for the clicks and get the attention. But the person who set up was a former friend of mine, Jaden Scott, who was a 23-year-old millionaire who had a lot of money, from what I know, from what I've been shown, and from what people have told me, that set the entire event up. And also, he's the one who paid for AFPAC. Apparently, paid for AFPAC in Detroit for Nick Fuentes. So he had some money. So got acquainted with this guy. I remember after the Dearborn shit, he's like, "Hey man, I really like what you're doing. I really like what you do. Come out to Saginaw, dude. I got an office in Saginaw. Let's try to make some money together." So I mean, anybody that sits back and they're coming in the way that they're coming, and they appear in the way that they do, and they say like, "Hey, dude, let's make some money together. I really like what you do. I want to give you a chance." You're gonna take an opportunity to see what it's about. So I did. I went out there the 26th of November. It was his birthday, actually. And he had a whole office of people out there in Saginaw, the biggest office out there in Saginaw on Jefferson Street. And a lot of people within Michigan politics were there, like very decent people who were on people's campaigns, campaign consulting. They had been around Michigan politics. So this was like a very good setting. Yeah, like this was like, okay, this is legit. I'm not getting into some bullshit. So me and him became very acquainted, and working together. And Jake Lang was kind of like I was learning that Jake Lang was just kind of just the face. Jake Lang didn't have anything to do with the event. And we did a lot of crazy shit here in Michigan in terms of fucking around with the Michigan Republican Party, the college Republicans. We met a lot of great people. Got to know this guy. Met his kid. Met his girlfriend. He's like Jordan Belfort. You know, if you ever watch Wolf of Wall Street, loves doing drugs, loves fucking whores. That's all he does. 23 years old, loves doing his shit, but comes from a broken home. So he's a wigger. He got his money through drop shipping during COVID, doing that shit. And just mother and father killed themselves. He's the youngest of the pack. Sister's a race mixer. Brothers are, from what he told me, are constantly in drugs. So this is all stuff he told me. Like, I'm not making these things up. These things he expressed to me and expressed to other people as well. So as you can already get the profile, somebody who came, poor white trash, got some money, came up, and still acts like a wigger. Has been in and out of jail. Surprisingly, has beaten all the charges for a lot of shit, arson, grand theft auto, a lot of crazy shit that he should be in jail for. But surprisingly, has beat all these charges, which is weird. But it's like, okay, because you can't really verify these things. This guy's talking. It is what it is. We'll find out eventually. Now, I don't know if you've seen the clip when the Minnesota shit was going on with, Alex Preddy and Renee Good. He went out there and got on the megaphone screaming, we just executed one of you, kind of like, egging on and making fun of Renee Good's death, which I didn't give a fuck about Renee Good, but I'm not going to sit there and parade bitch died. And it's like, it's funny. It's more of like, this bitch died because she did some dumb shit. And I don't really give a fuck about these people. I'm not about to sit here and cry and turn down the country because of this shit. We shouldn't stop doing what we're doing because of it. He went out there to do that. When I told him, don't fucking go out there to do that. We had a little bit of fouling out because I told him, don't fucking go out there. They're going to put all your kids' information out there, which they did. Put his family's information out there. And he's also going through a custody battle. They tried to take away his kid and shit. And they cited him what happened in Dearborn, his association with Jake Lang, and also what he did in Minnesota is a reason to take his kid away, which is fucked up. They would use political reasoning for him to lose his kid. But it's like, dude, I told you that.
Worst enemy.
He ended up apologizing because he fucking threatened me. And I said, don't fucking sit there and threaten me. And I'm not going to sit there and do that. So he ended up apologizing and shit. We came back good friends. Fast forward a few weeks, he would call me every fucking day for about 3 months. We would sit back and talk all the time about business and shit. And he would always talk about how much money he's got going on. Nigga never really had any fucking money. Honestly, he had money, spent it all, wasted it all, and was just pretty much fucking people over financially. A scam artist. I remember there's something had happened with my car, and he came down to help me with my car. And he's like, I'll pay for the locksmith. Don't worry. I lost my keys.
Was that when you hit snow? I remember your car got stuck.
No, this is another event. Something else. I was right after that. So he comes down, pays to get my car. I lost my keys and shit. Helps me with the shit. Nigga pulls out 7 Amex cards. 7 Amex cards. 7 Amex cards. American Express cards.
Wow.
None of them had his name on it. They all didn't work. So right there, it was kind of it was funny because he got it. It was the dude who it was the locksmith was it was an Arab, but dude would get into this amazing fucking character. You know, it was so fun to watch him work. It was just hilarious to be around this guy. Guy was a fun dude to hang with. And he gets into this fucking like this Jew battle with this Arab. And he's like, okay, let's so like he says, how much is for the key? It's 150. It's like, yeah, 150. Let's do 125. He's talking just like a Jew. Let's do 125. And I'm sitting there and I'm laughing my ass off.
That's off. Yeah, you have
And
to.
he's like, no. I want to do 150, 150. No. We're gonna do 125. It's like, no. You're fucking me over. I want 150. I said, listen, I'm gonna tell you this. You're not gonna Jew me. I'm gonna Jew you because I'm 100% Jewish. He gets in this whole fucking Jew shit, and they start arguing about percentages. He's like, "Listen, don't bring up Jew shit. I'm 3% Jewish." He said, "I'm 100% Jewish, and you're being very anti-Semitic right now. We're gonna do 125." I'm fucking crying out. His girlfriend's in the car next to us. I'm fucking rolling. This shit's hilarious. They get into a whole Jew battle. The dude pulls off. I'm like, don't you do big? Fuck you. No, fuck you. This shit's so hilarious. He pulls off. An hour later, the guy comes back. He pays for the fucking key. But it was fun. It was a funny fucking interaction. Very fucking hilarious interaction. I had fun with the guy. But this guy, he set up all these events. He paid for all the fucking events when it came to Jake Lang and shit. He was out there with Jake Lang in Minnesota. All that shit. He helped Jake Lang do all this shit. So Jake Lang is, a performative, just a character, performative as fuck, very performative, a coke addict, into drugs, into a whole bunch of shit, Jewish, all that. I met him. He was a pretty decent guy. I would say that he's a pretty nice guy in terms of talking and like having a conversation. Him fucking around with the 16-year-old girl and like the way he handled it was disgusting as fucking retarded. But this Jaden Scott guy paid for everything, so that's kind of a little insight of that. How it ended up fucking turning out between me and this dude. He was trying to get people to come up to Michigan from Jake Lang's old group, the Americans Against Islamification, a bunch of dumb shit. And I'm advising the whole time, like, listen, dude, this is what you should do politically. But really, I'm trying to get him to go back into business. Because I'm like, if you're telling me you're burning money and you need to pay for this and pay for that, dude, go back into business. Stop trying to worry about politics. Nah. I just kept not fucking listening and doing dumb shit. And this is after he got his leg broken in Romulus because he went out to a protest. I said, you need to sit the fuck down somewhere. Sit the fuck down somewhere, get it back in the business. He wouldn't listen. So he tries to get this contract with two candidates out in Michigan, Ralph Rebrand, who's running for governor, and a black woman running for the Republican Party, Bernadette Smith. None of them got on the ballot. They're terrible. Another girl, Man in Love, running for Secretary of State, gets these contracts to get signatures to get them on the ballot. They're going for $7 a pop. That's what the contract was, $7 a pop. Of course, he wasn't going to pay everyone. And this is something he confided in me. He wasn't going to pay everyone. He was going to, of course, take the $7 per signature and maybe pay the rest of the people either nothing or pay them $3 for the signature. So, really pocketing much of the money. It ended up turning out that he fucked everyone over. He fucked everyone, didn't pay the people, and they were fucking mad about it. Told him like, I'm gonna pay you $250 a day, a whole bunch of shit. So he calls two guys, one named Shane and the other one named James. Shane is a pretty decent restaurant chain and businesses out in New York, does very well. And then James has a decent business out in Minnesota as well. He met Jake Lang and Jaden from Minnesota. So he invites them to come up here to do the same thing, to get the fucking signatures and shit. They come out here, Shane gets out there, and they have a little bit of spat. Jaden calls me, tells me like, I had to check Shane. He was running his fucking cocksucker. I tell him I smacked him in his fucking face. I said, what happened? He's just running his fucking dick licker. I don't play that shit. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I didn't know Shane like that. Didn't know the guy, but I knew he was a nice guy. And I'm like, wow, okay, whatever. And I actually thought he was older than Jaden. So I was like, there was a lot of hint of suspicion there for me. Like, I don't think this guy would I thought it was 40. He's actually in his 20s. But I don't think a 40-year-old guy would let a 23-year-old fucking just talk shit to him. I don't give a fuck how much money he's got.
Yeah. No man would put up with that. So they have a little spat. We hang out and shit, whatnot. This was Tuesday. And it was Monday. We hung out, did all this shit. We go to Buffalo Wild Wings, downtown Detroit. Buffalo Wild Wings. This fucker Dine and Dash is on a fucking bill. Dine and Dash is on a fucking bill. Crazy shit.
Craziest shit. Disgusting shit that he did. I couldn't fucking believe that he would sit here and dine and dash. Terrible shit. So comes Good Friday. He gets James to come down from Minnesota to do signatures. Him and James, it didn't really go well with getting the signatures and shit. It was really cold out here. It just didn't go well. As I said, dude is like Jordan Belfort. All he loves to do is take fucking Adderall. And, Adderall is like just a pill form of cocaine. It's pretty much like that. Adderall is a motherfucker. Adderall and smoke weed and fuck women. That's all he does all fucking day. Adderall, women, weed, all day. So he calls me in the morning. It's like, hey, man, we're coming out to Detroit, downtown Detroit. Let's hang out. It's Friday. I'm like, oh, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's go hit the fucking place. Let's do it. Let's have some fun. He's like, I got James with me. James is with me, let's fucking go down there and do whatever. I'm like, all right, whatever. Now, the thing about James is he's a married man, got 4 kids in his 30s. He has a business as well. He calls me later at night, he calls me and 2 other people and tell him what he's doing. It's like, yeah, I got these fucking girls with me. It's me and James. This one girl, she ain't putting out. I got a rule. If they don't fucking put out within 45 minutes, I tell them to get the fuck out of here. They don't have the fucking panties dropping in 45 minutes, get the fuck out. I'm like, whatever, man. All right, just call me whenever you're done and shit. If y'all coming out, let me know. James texts me. He's like, yeah, I don't know if he's gonna, bring us down here, but he's going to drop off his girlfriend and then go pick up this other girl. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I get a call next morning. He's like, bro, you wouldn't believe what the fuck happened last night. Crazy shit. This dude, fucking James, he was trying to burn down mosques with me, dude. It was crazy. He was trying to burn down mosques, and like he kept trying to get me to read this book. I don't know what kind of book he was trying to get me to read this book. I said, what book was it? And I was going to ask this question to see if he was fucking serious, because the thing is that if you've been on this side of politics, there's certain books that, that are very obscure and people don't fucking read. So I was going to say Mein Kampf. I'm like, that's too general, like too fucking general. And the dude, Jaden, is a normie. So I'm like, it's too general. I said, what do you have you read? The Turner Diaries? Yeah, the Turner Diaries. Yeah, he's trying to get me to read the Turner Diaries. Yeah. Turner Diaries is a very obscure book on the right. Like, you have to really know about this book. I've read the Turner Diaries. I've listened to audiobooks. I don't know the guy who wrote it, but I know where to fucking find the book if I want to give it to somebody, right? I know where to get the book from. Okay. That's very obscure. So I didn't believe that. I'm like, okay, he was trying to get you to go burn out mosques. Like, why would this dude, like, doesn't make any sense. And he's like, yeah, not even that, dude. He was trying to rape this girl. He's like trying to get like have me to like fuck this girl with him and shit, dude. Like, I wasn't doing it. I had to pull a gun and kick him out the office. He was living out of the office in Saginaw. He's trying to kick me to fucking rape this girl. And I'm like, dude, well, hold on. I said, what girl? This girl I picked up, she had to be the youngest girl I ever fucked before. I said, how old? About 19, maybe 18. I think 19 years old. I said, dude, let me tell you this right now. This girl's fuck. Did you guys have alcohol? What happened? I had a little bit of drink. I said, how much do you have to drink? I had a little bit. I said, what about her? Oh, she was already drunk before I found her. I said, okay. So what happened? He tells me the details of this whole fucking crazy ass story about how James was trying to fuck the girl. Mind you, saying he was trying to fuck the girl and he had to pull a gun on her and kick him out. I said, well, where did he go? He's probably back in Minnesota right now. I said, so after you fucked this girl, you took her home. Yeah, I took her home. I said, listen, dude, if she didn't like what happened and didn't like what was going on, you're fucked because you facilitated the environment. There was alcohol involved. She's not of age. She's fucking under 21. You're fucked. So you better make sure if you're friends with this girl or whatnot, that everything's cool and smooth, because she will fuck you at the end of the day. Y'all both are fucked. It doesn't matter anything. Does not matter. You will be fucked from that. I get it. And he kind of brushed it off like, it's all right. I don't have nothing to worry about. I'm like, okay, man, nothing to worry about, but you need to be fucking careful next time, dude. Like, be fucking careful. Use your fucking head. Because I was like a big brother figure. Like I said, parents ain't there. Mommy and daddy killed themselves. Brothers and all that shit. Family's all in the drugs and shit. And he's a drug addict too in terms of the Adderall, but not like his rest of his family. So I'm trying to play big brother role. Dude, Sunday, he calls me. I think about getting rid of the office. I really want to start fresh, go somewhere different. I'm thinking about getting rid of the office. I'm like, listen, man, you want to get rid of the office? Where do you think I'm going to move? I might come down towards you near town, near Detroit. I said, fine, fuck it, because that makes me happy. Like, dude, we can go, have fun. This is like a cool dude to hang out with, On Monday, he calls me. We're talking about business. Get off the phone. Got a little group chat on Telegram. The dude, James, dropped some audio logs of the girl saying that he was trying to, he took advantage of her. She did not want to have sex. He gave her alcohol. He kept talking about he wanted to, kept trying to come in her to have a kid. She's like, I'm ovulating. I have a custody battle with my kid right. I don't even have custody of my kids right now. I don't want any of this. Like, please leave me alone. All that. This is a dude, James. He said he pulled a gun on him, and he said that he was trying to rape her. So I'm like, bro, I call him immediately. The audio. I'm like, hey, bro, he checked the group chat. What's going on? What the fuck is going on? I said, James has dropped these audio logs. What audio logs? I said, of him and the girl. Don't fuck with me right now. Don't fuck with me right now. Stop fucking with me. I said, dude, first off, who are you talking to? Well, you're fucking with. I said, I'm not fucking with you. Check the chat. How do I get these guys out the chat? Kicks both him and Shane out the chat. So automatically from there, I know this dude, he did his shit. Story flip right there. So he's sitting there fucking trying to talk to me and shit and have this conversation. And I'm like, dude, you need to tell me what's going on. What the fuck you mean? I banged this girl out like I always do, banged this girl out, and fucking Matthew tried to fucking try to rape this girl. I said, you sure was that? I didn't rape no girl. Just automatically goes into defense mode. I said, dude, I didn't say that you did. I said, what the fuck happened? I don't need you to find out what happened. Why are you trying to play detective? I said, play detective, nigga. You're trying to get me involved in some shit. Because listen, it was actually before he said the detective shit. He's like, what I need you to do is go in, like, tell Shane, the business dude, tell Shane that if he doesn't take down these posts, because he posted on all over the X and everything, tell Shane if he doesn't take down these fucking posts, I'm going to sue him for defamation. I said, listen, genius, if this stuff is true from what you're saying, because I'm not going to fucking do that.
Yeah.
If this shit is true and you sue for defamation, it's going to be proven in the court. And from discovery, they're going to find out and to get everyone involved and figure out if it's true or not. So if you didn't do anything, that's not going to work. I'm like, you need to tell me what's going on. I don't need, and he goes into like, I don't need you playing detective shit. I don't know who the fuck you're talking to. Either you're talking to your friend, but you're not talking to a fucking employee. You don't have a fucking employee here. I told you that from day one. That was our whole thing when I first met him. I said, listen, I'm doing my own thing. I'll advise you on politics, and you don't know anything about politics. That was his whole thing to call me. Like, I don't know anything about politics. You know more about politics than I do. Let me, can you advise me and help me with politically? I'm like, fine, I can do that. And we run around the state doing great shit for the first like 2 or 3 months. It was fucking fantastic. It was great. We had a great time. Meeting all different candidates that were running for Senate and running for House. Fantastic shit. It was wonderful. People coming to the office, we're interviewing them. We had great work going on. It was like very serious shit that I was doing on the side, taking a lot of my time from what I was doing in terms of content. So to get further into the story, he tells me to do this shit. He's like, well, I want you to do this. Everybody have a meeting at 9 o'clock on Zoom. I want you to go in there, act surprised, like you don't know what's going on, try to get information. And I want you to do is try to get them to extort me for $10,000. I see you're asking me to commit a fucking crime. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm not fucking helping you do shit. I'm not doing anything illegal. Now, if something happened, tell me what's going on. And he just starts getting defensive and shit. And like, you need to be all like, why the fuck did you call me? Why are you on my fucking phone if you're not going to help me? I said, fucking help you do it. I thought I was your fucking best friend. Because he always said, this is my best friend. This is my best friend. This is my best friend. Always going and telling people this shit. I said, if I'm your fucking best friend and I'm trying to sit back and tell you something, how things are going to work. If you don't think that you did anything wrong, and because at this point, I'm like, he did the shit wrong. And I need to go talk to these guys to figure out what's going on. But I'm like, if you don't think anything happened, chill the fuck out, dude. You didn't do anything, right? No, I didn't do nothing.
Don't be in defensive mode. Oh, I didn't do this. I didn't do that. And like, you notice how he makes excuses. He does anything but listen to you. Let's Jew or weasel my way around it. Be a little kike about it. Use you and then get you in trouble so the heat is taken off of him. Does anything but de-escalate the situation. Like that's a problem. You know
exactly.
What I mean?
That's a problem. Yeah, that's a big problem. So of course. I talked to Shane. Shane tells me that when he was up here in that little, like, I had to kick him, I was about to kick this guy's ass. He's like, no, the dude fucking threatened to punch me. I said, fucking do it. He didn't do it. I was going to leave. He begged me to fucking stay. I said, wow, okay. I fucking, I hang up with him, hang up with Jaden. I called the dude, James. Me and James are talking. He tells me the whole thing. No, this girl was in the office because this all happened at the office. This girl was all over the place. He fucked this girl. She didn't want to do it. I had to walk her to the fucking bathroom. I asked her like, how old was the girl and shit. She's like, well, if he told me if you ask what my age is, tell you 21. I was like, are you 21? She's like, no, I'm 18. And just like kind of like, just all fucked up. Like she was extremely drunk. She couldn't walk. He had to walk her to the bathroom and shit. Took picture of her phone and like her, brought and like say this is the evidence of she was here with the shit. He was throwing her shit around, kept threatening her. Just a whole bunch of shit. She kept crying, come back and forth like she really doesn't want to do this. She doesn't feel like she doesn't know what to do because she can't get home. all this other shit. So she just kind of played into the shit because, fuck them. So all that shit. He ended up kicking her out, kicking both of them out. The dude James drove her home, and that's how they got the audio logs of her admitting, like, yeah, he did all this shit. I really didn't want to do it. I just really didn't want to do it. I just wanted to go home, real shit. And I thought if I did it with him, he'd take me fucking home and just get over with. He put out that shit, and it was just fucking crazy. So I call him. He's like, Mr. Williams, how you doing? I said, I'm doing all right, man. He said, how do you feel about this whole situation? I said, I'm very disappointed, man. All right, I see you're a fucking retard. All right, Mr. Williams, it was great. It was great working with you. But I'm just not going to work with somebody who think I would do something like that to a girl. Like, he's talking like this fucking character. Hangs up on me. I call him back. I said, don't fucking play with me, dude. Don't sit here and play this fucking game with me. Do not sit here and insult my fucking intelligence. I'm not insulting your intelligence. I can't believe you would fucking believe that. But dude, you're supposed to be my best friend, like trying to guilt trip me and shit.
Yeah.
When he got off the phone with me the first time, he goes and drives to this girl's house named Ashley. Drives her house in Alpine Hills, I think it's like 30 minutes away from Saginaw. Drives over there, tells her this whole fucking story about how these guys are like trying to, this something happened. I'm in a lot of trouble. This shit happened. These guys are trying to say I did it. It didn't happen that way. I need you to record this video of me talking to this girl. I'm going to call this girl, and I need you to record this video of me talking to her. So he records this fucking video like this dumbass. And the girl's scared as fuck because I end up talking to the victim. I end up talking to the girl. I end up getting her phone number and talking to her. She told me everything as well. And how she's scared of this fucking dude, how he would threaten her and all this shit and kept trying to like meet up and have dinner with her and all this other shit. And she didn't want to do that because she's terrified of this dude. A whole bunch of shit. Yeah. So he calls her middle of the night, like, oh, did I do this? Did I do that? Like feeding her questions, like, fishing her questions. Just did I do this? Did I do that? No, whatever.
She said that, and then that's what he's gonna do. Fuck that,
yeah, man. So
evil.
He tries to make it like Shane and the other dude is trying to make it like extort him for money and try to destroy his career and destroy it. Nigga doesn't have a career. Nigga does not have a fucking career. He thinks that the little bit of internet fame he got from saying retarded shit in Minnesota is like a career and like a celebrity status. It isn't. You're hated in Saginaw because one, you don't pay your child support. You don't take care of you do take care of your kid, but you don't have custody of your kid. You owe a lot of money in child support. You scam people. You fuck people over on money. You've ruined other people's business by taking out MCA loans on their business. A whole bunch of crazy shit that he did. And then he tries to play this fucking game. So I just like rip into him because he's like, this girl's 18. She's got a job interview tomorrow to be a bartender and all this other shit. I said, what? He said she's 18 and she's got a job to be a bartender. I said, in the state of Michigan, you can't be a fucking bartender 18. My wife and my mother know this because they took the fucking test and they were bartenders. The fuck are you talking about? Automatically called this dumb motherfucker. So don't ever fucking contact me again, you fucking raping faggot. Don't ever contact me again. Click, boom. And this is a guy who set up Jake Lang's event. This is a guy who's friends with Jake Lang, all this other shit. And when Jake Lang got caught up in his shit, he turned on Jake Lang to have his little group because he thinks that he can have some celebrity status, that he's like a celebrity individual. And there's videos of, go look up Jaden Scott on fucking X. He's a fucking retard. He's a goofball. Retard. I told him, don't do any of this shit. He did it any fucking way. Wouldn't take my advice in terms of doing what he needed to do. But always would call me with like a dumbass plan and shit. He got kicked out of the Republican convention in Michigan because he was sitting there on a walkie-talkie, acting like he was a part of the team and shit, doing dumb shit. They kicked him out. He tried to blame it on Muslims and a fucking faggot. No, they threw his ass out the event because he was playing too much and they didn't want him there. And then when it came to the signatures, he fucked over these people, didn't pay them, had them go out and get signatures. They got about 200 signatures. He didn't pay them. Like I said, $70 a pop for his signatures. He didn't pay any of these people, pocketed all the fucking money and fled to California. So what he does, like, we totally forgot about this dude. The girl, Ashley, I called her. We sat on the phone for 6 hours. She told me everything that he did. Come out a few days later, she doesn't answer me or Shane. She reached out to myself and Shane about the whole event, trying to figure out what's going on. She still hasn't reached back to us. I think he threatened her to like shut the fuck up. So from that also, he puts out this fucking fake affidavit with her name on it. And it says like the county of Saginaw. It's not notarized. Doesn't say what court it's from. Doesn't say anything at all. And it's got like you know how you do like an e-signature on something? It's got a fucking e-signature. You know, like the fucking the shitty the shit you would do to sign a document like through fucking Adobe. This dumbass doesn't even get notarized. He puts it out as a threat. Like, you guys cohort. Yeah, it's like the cohorts. Ashley, the girl who recorded the video, to tell. I don't know what it is. It's so fucking stupid. It doesn't make any sense. But what just kind of sealed the deal is that I talked to the girl. I called the victim, the girl that was raped. I called her. And because the dude, James, had her number because he drove her home from this whole event. Call her. She tells me, yeah, he's fucking been threatening me, trying to meet up with me. I don't want to meet up with him. I said, who knows in your family about this? Like, my mom knows, my dad doesn't. I'm like, you need to go to the police. Like, convince him, like, you need to go to the police with this. Like, if you don't do anything, go to the police, put in an anonymous report, do something, because this is serious, because he could do this to someone else and you're 18 years old. That's fucked up. So I've like give your parents my number and everything. Told her like everything about me and everything. Like, listen, you need to do everything you can to put someone like this away. This shit shouldn't happen. I know everything about him, know where he lives, all that shit. But yeah, this is disgusting shit you have to deal with a lot of these grifters. And he's going around talking himself as a Christian and I'm MAGA this and Trump that, and he's just a fucking grifter. And it's a lot of those people, a lot of these people. And the Fed shit we're trying to blow up Moss shit. That's something that really just kind of like, this nigga's a fucking. This nigga's extremely retarded, which is kind of like probably the case, or he's a fucking like a Fed asset. But this shit's disgusting, man. That's what I've been dealing with for the past few months with this guy. It was fun hanging out with the dude, but these people like that, men like that. This is why it's important for young men to have brothers and not have like these friends and have all these other people.
Throw you under the bus.
Your brothers won't do shit like this. The people that you've like bled with, going through shit with, struggled with, they're not going to do shit like this. If they fuck up, they're going to be honest with you. Hey, I fucked up, man. I did this dumb shit, man. And I told him, it's like, if you admitted to me that you did the shit as your friend, I'm going to sit here and try to like I'm going to shame you for what the fuck you did. Like, no doubt, you did some disgusting shit. But in terms of like, hey, man, here's what you need to do. Like, you need to own up to this. You need to repent for that in terms of like, from a Christian. I'll give you that advice, but to sit back and support you and be friends with you on that shit, like, nah, bro, you going around doing this shit. It's disgusting as fuck. Real disgusting. And then the crazy part of the past few days, he's got some of his girlfriends that know me and were like, they've been telling me like, yeah, he's really aggressive with women and all this other shit. And tell me all the disgusting shit he's doing. I'm like, wow. I didn't know all that. So crazy shit, crazy story, crazy shit. That's the guy who's been setting up Jake Lang's events and like with Jake Lang doing his shit. So I can't fuck with either one of them. I don't want to fuck with any of these people. They're just disgusting, man. Just disgusting as fuck.
No, and I respect you. It's not only for your namesake, but people like that aren't your type of character. Like, and even like before, I felt Jake Lang was always creating division between Christians and Muslims. I liked you because you're like, hey, the reason why Islam is so radical is because we give these people billions of dollars and then displace these Muslims. You were never the person to create division. You just say what's up. But these guys were just retarded about it, trying to piss off crowds of people. They were even like actors and people that were just there to be there. They didn't actually believe in the cause or actually want what's better for America. They're just, faces around even bigger faces, bigger names.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the whole Jake Lang thing pissed me off because, I mean, when you see Chris Hansen or Skeeter Jean or even people like Gideon or other people that Alex Rose and people that catch pedophiles, they don't leak the messages of the operation because first and foremost, when you text someone, you cannot text them first, right? Because it's not coercion. What's the term I'm looking for? Not entrapment. They want the predator to text the decoy first because if the decoy texts first, then it won't be as apparent in the case. You know what I'm saying? So with Jake Lang, he texted this decoy who was said to be of this age, that. And it got me, I think they call it, what's the term? Is it coercion? Yeah, they call it coercion. If
I think so. Yeah.
If the decoy, aka the fake minor, texts the predator first. So Jake Lang reached out to that person. They could have actually gotten him in those 6 months to meet up with that said minor. Because remember, it only means or holds something in court if he had the intention of meeting up with a child or grooming a child or the intention to rape a kid, right? So that's what really pissed me off. I'm like, why the fuck would you leak that? You retard. You've been catching predators for years. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're a moron. That defeats the whole purpose. You can't catch this guy if there's nothing to catch him with. Now he can make up a whole bunch of bullshit excuses. Now he's not going to be in prison, and get played around with. Now I'm pissed off because I'm like, this guy could actually face consequences to his actions. I'm like, now he still has his platform. He still has his retarded fan base. All people have to say is that, oh, those messages were AI, and they can make shit up now. You know what I mean? That's
what
really
he did. Yeah. That's what they've been doing. Like just saying it's like AI and all this other dumb shit. They're retarded. I mean,
like
either way, the moment that someone gets, it's clear because he doubled down on it. It was more of like, who cares? You know, this is it's like he admitted that he did this shit. It's like, dude, okay, yeah. But these fucking retards are still supporting him. Like, well, it's not that bad. It's like, yeah, nigger, it's bad. Like, fuck you if you think it's not that bad.
And it's like the concept of like MAGA, where like Trump will completely go against the ideology of the movement or what they originally stood for. People will still kiss his ass, like the Jesus post, or getting involved with the war in Iraq. Charlie Kirk didn't agree with that, and Charlie Kirk was one of his biggest supporters. At least Charlie was honest and said, hey, in the end, he realized what Israel did was wrong. He realized he was lied to. At least Charlie disagreed with Trump on certain takes. Out of all the Republicans, I like Charlie the most because at least he was honest and said things that he didn't agree with what his party did. He actually brought right and left together. They killed him on purpose because look at how divided we are. Now we have right-wing, far-right extremists, that people that make the far right look bad, creating more division. We have more chaos because we have horrible leaders. And we don't have people like Charlie Kirk, who is more soft-spoken and respectful, bringing people together. Now we have these idiots that are extreme and spreading hatred and are going to cause more problems now. So this was done on purpose because they know what a huge stronghold Charlie's influence had on America. When you kill certain figures, like same thing with like George Lincoln Rockwell or Malcolm X, when you kill certain people, you know how people are going to react. What do? The whole movement has been crippled. It's kind of like Invincible. I'm not sure if you're watching that, but with Invincible, when you kill Thrag, all the Viltrumites are lost astray. Their civilization is literally dying. You kill the leader, you basically killed off the planet. There's like 40 of them or less than 40 of them left, at least in this point in the show. I mean, I'm not going to get into the comics. It's a whole nother, conversation. But the purpose of that is once you kill the leader, the whole movement is done. There is no movement. There is no motion. There is no civilization or what's left of it anyways.
Right. Yeah, I was never a big fan of Charlie, but even before, his death was just terrible to watch him get killed. But I was never a Charlie Kirk fan. I was never like, I love Charlie. He rubbed me wrong with the idea shit. This was
at least.
Go ahead. I couldn't hear you.
If I was saying I didn't like how he supported Israel, but he did point out issues in America, which I did like, in my opinion. Like I like that he
did.
Yeah,
he did. He was good he had his utility. I just never fuck with him from the America's an idea. I thought that was gay, and I just never really liked this corporate identity he had of this very Republican Party look that he had to him. Now he was his own independent thing as years increased more, but especially in like the late 2010s and like after, like kind of during the COVID era a little bit, he was just too corporate for me. I think the last 2-3 years he became more independent, his own thing, which was great. But even from that, it was still like sprinkles of this very, Republican-esque look. I'm like, I can't fuck with this. And then also the Israel shit. I just think it was too weak. Just too weak on the Israel shit. But it is what it is, unfortunately, with Charlie. He's dead and gone. It's sad that he had to die. But, it's more what comes after that. More people like him have been inspired. More people will come after him. It will be even greater and hold a greater light to things. So.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me about this. I mean, I've taken up a lot of your time. I mean, you were supposed to be gone 48 minutes ago, but
yeah, I wanted to tell a story. I got to tell